Chapter 1. When the world sleeps, the dreamer burns. Every great story begins with a whisper, a small spark in the dark that says, I want more. That whisper is desire. Napoleon Hill called it the starting point of all achievement. Every invention, every dream, every empire was first born inside a restless heart. Desire is not a wish. It is a fire that keeps a soul awake when the world sleeps. It's the hunger that doesn't fade, even when the world calls you crazy. There was once a man named Edwin C. Barnes. He had no money, no power, only one burning thought. I will become Thomas Edison's partner. People laughed, but Barnes didn't listen. He didn't wait for permission. He took a train to Edison's office and said, I've come to go into business with you. Edison saw something rare in his eyes, a man possessed by purpose. Barnes didn't become his partner that day. He became a clerk, but he worked as if destiny was watching every move. Years passed. Then one day, Edison created a new invention. His salesman failed to sell it. Barnes saw his moment. He sold it with passion and became Edison's business partner at last. He didn't win because he was lucky. He won because his desire never cooled. Desire turns ordinary lives into extraordinary stories. It gives meaning to pain and direction to chaos. It is the first step from wishful thinking to living truth. Moral. A weak desire brings weak results, just as a small fire makes little heat. But when your heart burns with an unshakable purpose, the universe itself feels your flame. Chapter 2. The invisible hand that shapes your destiny. Desire lights the fire, but it is faith that keeps it burning when the nights grow cold. Faith is not found, it is built. It is a quiet power that says, even if I can't see the way, I trust that one exists. When doubt screams, faith whispers. When fear grows, faith stands taller. When the world says you can't, faith says, watch me. Napoleon Hill wrote, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Faith is the bridge between thought and creation. Every great soul you admire stood once in the dark, holding nothing but faith. Edison, Lincoln, Ford, Carnegie, they all believed before success ever knocked. Faith doesn't erase pain. It transforms it. When you believe, your failures start training you. Your losses begin to teach you, and your heart learns how to rise again. Repeat this to yourself with conviction. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. These words are not poetry. They are power, because you are not what happens to you. You are what you decide to believe about it. To grow rich in wealth or spirit, you must first grow rich in faith. Believe in your dreams so fiercely that your mind has no option but to make it real. Moral. When you see your dream as already yours, life begins to rearrange itself to bring it closer. Faith is the unseen hand that shapes your destiny. Chapter 3. 3 feet from gold. The moment you refuse to break. Desire ignites the dream. Faith keeps it alive. But persistence turns the invisible into reality. Persistence is the courage to stand again when your knees shake. It's not strength of the body. It's the rebellion of the soul. Every success story is written in scars because greatness demands one thing. You don't stop. There's a story told about a man chasing gold. He dug for weeks, found nothing, and gave up. He sold his tools to a junk dealer who studied the mine, dug 3 more feet, and struck one of the richest gold veins in history. 3 feet. Just 3 feet away from everything he ever wanted. How many dreams die that same way? How many hearts quit right before the breakthrough? Persistence is not about talent. It's about endurance. It's about walking through failure, through laughter, through pain, and still whispering, I'm not done. Thomas Edison failed over 10,000 times before creating the light bulb. When asked how it felt to fail, he said, I didn't fail. I discovered 10,000 ways that didn't work. That is persistence, faith in motion. a living proof that your dream matters more than your comfort. You will fall, you will doubt, you will feel alone, but every time you rise again, life bows a little closer to your will. Moral: success doesn't belong to the lucky. It belongs to the relentless. 3 feet from gold. Most men quit. The wise keep digging. Closing message: the flame that never dies. Every dreamer begins with a spark of desire. That spark becomes a fire through faith, and that fire becomes a legacy through persistence. These are not just lessons. They are laws, written in the soul of every person who ever changed their world. You are not here to wish. You are here to will, to believe so deeply that doubt fades into silence, to rise so often that failure forgets your name. So dream again, believe again, and keep walking, even when you're 3 feet from gold, because inside you burns the same power that built empires, healed nations, and moved mountains. Desire, faith, persistence. They are the 3 flames that will never die if you refuse to let them. Chapter 5. Becoming the person you were meant to be. Change does not begin with action. It begins with belief. Most people try to change their habits without first changing how they perceive themselves. They say, I want to lose weight, I want to read more, I want to exercise. But the question is, who do you believe you already are? Habits are more than repeated actions. They are declarations of identity. Every time you act in a way consistent with your desired self, you cast a vote for the person you want to become. 1 page read is a vote for being a reader. 1 workout completed is a vote for being an athlete. 1 kind word spoken is a vote for being a compassionate person. Consider the story of Aisha, who wanted to become a confident public speaker. Initially, she felt incapable. Instead of forcing herself to perform immediately, she began by standing in front of her mirror for 5 minutes every day, speaking to herself as if addressing an audience. She stumbled, she laughed at herself, and yet, day after day, she persisted. Months later, she spoke confidently at a community event. Her identity had changed. She had become a speaker. Identity-based habits shift the focus from outcomes to alignment. Instead of asking, what should I do today? Ask, who do I want to be? When your identity and actions align, habits are no longer a struggle. They become natural. Your brain will start seeking evidence to reinforce your new identity, creating automatic momentum. Practical framework. Decide your identity clearly. Not just I want to save money, but I am financially responsible. Start small. Reinforce identity with tiny, achievable habits. Focus on repetition, not results. Your brain learns identity through consistent action. Stack identity-based habits. Gradually layer habits that reinforce the same identity. Take the example of Daniel, who wanted to live a healthier life. He started by drinking a glass of water every morning, a small act, but it aligned with his desired identity of being health conscious. Soon he added morning stretches, replaced soda with juice, and began walking daily. Months later, he wasn't just healthier. He had become a health-focused person, without obsessing over willpower. Habits, when linked to identity, are self-reinforcing. Your environment, actions, and thoughts begin to align. When challenges arise, your identity-based habits provide resilience. You no longer rely solely on motivation or discipline. Your identity sustains you. Small, consistent actions can have cascading effects across all areas of life. Reading a page daily transforms your knowledge and confidence. Saving a small amount each week grows financial stability. Practicing gratitude daily improves relationships and emotional resilience. Change is not a one-time event. It is a continuous, identity-driven journey. The person you become tomorrow is determined by the small choices you make today, repeated consistently. Identity-based habits also solve the problem of failure. When a slip occurs, you return not to an abstract goal, but to your identity. I may have missed a workout, but I am a fit person. Tomorrow I will act accordingly. This subtle shift maintains momentum and prevents discouragement. Reflect on your life today. Which small habits reflect the person you want to be? Which actions contradict your desired identity? Every choice is a vote. Every vote counts. Moral: the strongest habit is born when you believe you are the person who already lives that way. Focus on identity, and your actions will follow naturally. Chapter 6: The wave that changes your world. One small habit may seem insignificant. A single action barely noticed may feel too tiny to matter. But like a single drop in a still pond, it creates ripples, spreading far beyond what you can immediately see. At first, waking up 10 minutes earlier may seem trivial, but over time, those 10 minutes become moments of meditation, planning, reading, or exercise. Those small minutes, repeated daily, compound into hours of growth, learning, and self-improvement. One tiny habit starts a chain reaction that reshapes your day, your mind, and eventually your life. Habits operate like compound interest for your life. The impact is invisible at first. You may feel like nothing is changing, but just as money grows silently over years, the cumulative effects of small, consistent actions become unstoppable. How to harness the ripple effect? Start with one small habit. Focus on one change that aligns with your goals or identity. Anchor the habit. Attach it to a routine you already do, so it becomes automatic. Visualize the ripple. Imagine how this habit can improve other aspects of your life, from relationships to career to personal health. Stack and expand. Once the first habit sticks, layer another small habit, gradually creating a network of positive behaviors. The ripple effect extends beyond your personal life. Small acts of kindness, attention, and empathy repeated consistently can transform your family, community, and workplace. Small habits also cultivate resilience. Life throws unexpected challenges. When you have built positive, consistent habits, you face adversity with strength, clarity, and calm. Your small, repeated actions become the foundation that supports you in difficult times. Practical examples of ripple effects. Student: reads 10 pages daily, knowledge expands, confidence increases, better class participation, improved grades, opportunities multiply. Professional: plans 5 minutes daily, organizes tasks, productivity rises, recognition grows, career progression. Parent: practices gratitude with children, strengthens emotional connection. Children feel supported, positive family culture develops. Your life is the sum of these ripples. One small habit does not need to solve everything. It simply needs to start a wave that moves silently but surely through all areas of life. The universe favors small, consistent effort. It may feel invisible now, but over time, your life begins to transform. Every positive action, no matter how tiny, is an investment in the future you. The beauty of habits is that they are self-reinforcing. One positive habit strengthens another, creating momentum that builds unstoppable waves. The ripple spreads from your mind to your body, your heart, your actions, your environment, and your relationships. Your life is not built on grand, rare events. It is shaped by the quiet, consistent choices you make every day. Start with a small habit. Nurture it. Repeat it. Let it ripple outward, touching every corner of your life. Do not wait for perfect conditions or overwhelming motivation. Start today with what you can do. One small habit is enough to begin a chain reaction that can transform not only you, but everyone who experiences your influence. Moral: every small habit is a ripple with the power to change your life and the lives around you. Start small, stay consistent, and let your wave reshape the world. Chapter 7: The Invisible Strings. How habits secretly control your life. Most of your day is guided by invisible strings. Habits. They are silent, subtle, often unnoticed. Yet their influence is massive. They shape your health, relationships, career, happiness, and identity. If your habits are uncontrolled, freedom is an illusion. Once you understand these invisible strings, you can control them. And in doing so, control your life. The habit loop, cue, routine, reward. At the heart of every habit is a simple loop, cue, the trigger that signals your brain to act. Routine, the behavior that follows. Reward, the benefit your brain receives, reinforcing the loop. Recognizing the habit loop is the first step to mastery. Awareness. Awareness transforms habits from unconscious behaviors into deliberate choices. Recognizing cues and rewards allows you to change routines without pain or deprivation. Changing routines without losing rewards. The key is simple. Keep the cue, keep the reward, change the routine. For example, replacing social media scrolling with 10 minutes of focused work keeps the reward, but changes the outcome. Emotional impact of habit mastery. Mastering habits changes identity, confidence, and emotion. Repeated actions reinforce self-belief, strengthen motivation and resilience, and expand freedom and control. Real-life habit loops. Coffee ritual, cue, alarm rings, routine. Brew coffee, reward. Warmth, alertness, pleasure. Exercise habit, cue, gym bag on chair, routine. 30-minute workout, reward. Endorphins, achievement. Learning habit, cue, sitting in favorite chair, routine. Read 10 pages daily, reward. Knowledge, curiosity. Harnessing the habit loop. Observe, track your cues, routines, and rewards. Experiment. Test new routines while keeping cues and rewards consistent. Repeat. Consistency rewires your brain. Reflect. Notice subtle shifts in mood, energy, and confidence. Layer habits. Add new positive routines once foundational habits are established. The ripple effect. Changing a single habit can ripple into every part of life. Morning routine, increased energy, sharper focus, better relationships, career momentum, tiny. Conscious choices compound silently but powerfully. Habits are the silent architects of destiny. Master the habit loop, and you take control of your life at the deepest level. Moral/takeaway. Your habits are not your destiny. They are signals waiting for you to reshape them. Recognize the cue, change the routine, embrace the reward, and you become the master of your own life. Chapter 8, The Ripple Stone. Tiny habits that change everything. Every small habit you form is like a stone dropped in a compound, seemingly insignificant. Yet it has the power to create ripples that change everything. These are keystone habits, small actions that create massive ripple effects across your life. Why keystone habits matter. Not all habits are equal. Some are minor routines, while keystone habits pull other positive habits with them, create momentum, restructure routines, and reshape identity. Example: exercise. Running 15 minutes a day increases energy, improves sleep, sharpens focus, and influences diet. One small habit triggers a cascade of positive change. Keystone habits do 3 key things. Trigger widespread change. One habit influences many areas of life. Build belief in your ability to change. Small wins reinforce confidence. Create automatic improvement. They restructure routines without relying on willpower alone. Finding your keystone habits. Observe patterns in your life. Which behaviors consistently lead to positive results? Exercise, energy, confidence, better choices. Making the bed, organization, productivity, control. Journaling, meditation, gratitude, emotional awareness, resilience. Planning, better time management. Reduce stress. Keystone habits don't need to be huge. Their power lies in the ripple effect, not their size. Examples of transformation through keystone habits. Family dinner. Eating together improves academics, emotional connections, and behavior. Alcoa's safety culture. Focusing on worker safety triggered productivity, communication, and culture improvements. Personal growth. Sarah's story. Reading 15 minutes daily increased knowledge, confidence, networking, and career momentum. Building keystone habits. Start small, tiny, achievable actions aligned with goals. Connect to identity. I am a reader instead of I want to read. Repeat consistently. Repetition rewires the brain. Celebrate progress. Reinforces belief and motivates action. Stack habits. Build new habits on strong keystone foundations. Emotional power of keystone habits. Keystone habits reshape mindset, identity, and emotion. Success in one area reinforces belief. Confidence spreads, courage grows, and momentum builds. Motivation fades, but keystone habits create an environment where success becomes inevitable. Practical daily applications. Morning routine. Wake up, make bed, drink water. Meditate sets tone for the day. Exercise. Small workouts, energy, focus. Better lifestyle choices. Gratitude journaling. Improves emotional awareness and relationships. Weekly planning. Organize time, reduce stress, increase productivity. Even the smallest choices, repeated consistently, reshape reality. Tiny ripples compound over time to transform everything. The essence of Think and Grow Rich. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Audio Coach 101. Introduction. The power of small things. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve everything they set out to do, while others struggle despite trying just as hard? The answer is not talent, luck, or extraordinary circumstances. It lies in something far simpler, yet far more powerful. This book is about the tiny, almost invisible choices that shape your life. The habits you form, the routines you follow, the decisions you make. Each one is a thread in the fabric of your destiny. And while these threads may seem insignificant on their own, together they weave the life you live for better or worse. Inside these pages you will discover how a single spark, a small habit, a brief moment of focus, a deliberate choice, can ignite a chain reaction that transforms everything. The science behind willpower, habits, and identity, explained in ways that make them practical and actionable. Real-life strategies and frameworks that anyone can apply, no matter where they are starting from. This is not a book of empty motivation or fleeting inspiration. It is a roadmap, a guide to taking control of your life, one small action at a time, and turning ordinary days into extraordinary outcomes. By the end, you will understand that the power to transform your health, career, relationships, mindset, and future has been within you all along. All it takes is awareness, consistency, and the courage to start that SO. If you are ready to stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect motivation, if you are ready to create a life you can be proud of, page by page, habit by habit, then turn the page. The journey begins now. Reflection. Keystone habits are simple yet powerful. They require awareness, consistency, and alignment with your desired self. Identify and cultivate them. One small habit can spark a revolution in your life. Moral/takeaway. Change one keystone habit, and you change everything. Small, consistent actions ripple outward, transforming your life and identity. Chapter 9, Willpower as a Muscle. How self-control shapes success. Every time you make a choice, resist a temptation, or push toward a goal, your willpower grows stronger. Willpower can be trained, strengthened, and expanded, just like a physical muscle. Self-control shapes your destiny, controls your habits, and aligns actions with your goals. The science of willpower. Every decision requires mental energy. Resisting temptation is like lifting a weight. The more you exercise willpower, the stronger it becomes. Delayed gratification studies show that resisting immediate rewards predicts long-term success in life, academics, and relationships. Willpower, like a muscle, determines outcomes beyond the immediate moment. Willpower and habit formation. Willpower alone cannot sustain long-term change. Habits reduce the need for constant self-control. When good habits are automatic, willpower is freed for more challenging decisions. Examples: morning workout becomes a habit, doesn't require daily motivation. Healthy eating becomes routine. Self-control focuses on tougher challenges. Reading every morning builds knowledge without depending solely on willpower. Willpower and habits work hand in hand, amplifying each other. Strengthening your willpower. Start small. Resist minor temptations first. Consistency, daily practice reinforces control. Avoid decision fatigue. Simplify routines. Reward yourself. Positive reinforcement strengthens self-control. Set clear goals. Knowing why you resist makes it easier to endure. Real-life example. Gradually resisting small distractions builds confidence and allows larger life changes to be implemented. Willpower in everyday life. Willpower helps master critical moments. Work. Staying focused despite distractions. Health. Choosing exercise over the couch. Finance. Saving money rather than impulsive spending. Relationships. Responding with patience instead of anger. Every successful action reinforces willpower, making the next challenge easier. The emotional impact of strengthened willpower. Strengthened willpower leads to confidence, trust in ability to succeed, reduced anxiety, feeling in control, multiplied motivation. Success becomes self-reinforcing. Stronger identity. Repeated acts of self-control define you as disciplined, capable, and strong. Practical exercises to strengthen willpower. Mindful resistance. Resist small temptations daily. Habit pairing. Pair challenging tasks with enjoyable rewards. Visualization. Picture yourself succeeding before the challenge. Scheduled decision-making. Make important decisions when mental energy is highest. Track progress. Journal small victories to reinforce control. Willpower and life transformation. Willpower is the foundation of long-term success. One act of self-control today strengthens the next decision. One day of discipline builds structure for long-term success. One habit reinforced by willpower transforms identity. Willpower allows alignment of actions with values, resisting destructive impulses, and creating a purposeful life. Reflection. Strengthened willpower leads to greater self-awareness, clearer decision-making, emotional resilience, expanded freedom. Every small choice, resisted impulse, and disciplined action creates ripples of transformation far beyond the present moment. Moral/takeaway. Willpower is the invisible muscle that shapes destiny. Strengthen it daily, combine it with good habits, and watch every small choice ripple into a life of purpose, discipline, and success. Closing note, the journey of small steps. You have now explored 9 chapters of insight, strategy, and inspiration. From understanding the spark that starts it all, to mastering your habits, willpower, and identity. Each chapter has built a foundation for transformation. Remember, change is not sudden. It is quiet, cumulative, and invisible at first. Every small habit, every intentional choice, and every act of self-discipline is a vote for the person you are becoming. These are the invisible forces shaping your future, silently sculpting your life into something extraordinary. The power lies within you, in the smallest actions repeated consistently. The ripple of today's decisions will shape your tomorrow. What you do now, no matter how tiny, has the potential to transform your health, relationships, career, mindset, and destiny. So take this knowledge and move forward. Start small. Stack habits. Strengthen your willpower. Align with your identity. Let the ripples of your actions expand into waves of success. You are not here to merely dream. You are here to act, to build, and to become. The journey may be gradual, but the destination is worth every step. Your life is your masterpiece, one deliberate, consistent step at a time.